So, good evening, everybody, and thank you for joining on a Sunday. And happy to be in touch and meet all of you time and again. And we have a lot of new people also joined today. Basically, I request all of you to mute yourself, or Mr. Harry, if you can mute other people so that there is no disturbance. So we have today's session is going to be something very interesting. I because even I am looking forward to today's session because I think so many learnings we will have from today's session, and Mr. Dharmendra sir needs no introduction, but still there are some of you who are new, so maybe I would just introduce Mr. Dharmendra Satapathy. Sir is a mentor, and he has been an advisor to many people, including me. And he is basically running two companies. One is he is an engineer by profession, but also converted himself or adapted himself to become more like a financial mentor. And he runs two companies. One company is called Next Level Education, which is into financial education for finance mutual fund distributors. Basically, they educate other mutual fund
That's a
distributors.
sound or what is that?
Uh, can everybody hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Somebody was telling sound is
No, I think one disturbance came in between. So,
okay. So the other company sir runs is a company called Glossum, which is a wealth management company, and through Oftal, we have been guiding many doctors on financial management also. And today's session basically is something very interesting because many of the doctors have this fear or have this difficulty of starting a hospital because starting a eye hospital is a huge financial burden. Basically, at least 3 to 4 crores if you want to set up a decent hospital, or minimum of 1 to 2 crores, even if you want to start up a hospital with cataract and basic infrastructure and basic facilities. So there is always a fear that okay, will I be able to manage this? So basically, how do I get this money? And so people generally, as a practicing doctor, what we do is we start our practice for 8, 10 years, accumulate the capital, and then start the hospital. And is this a right process of starting the hospital, or is there any other fast track way to do that? And how do we actually collaborate with others and establish the hospital at a faster rate? Another thing is because those who have understood this financial metrics or this financial trick have started hospital because when we see successful people, many people are those who have understood finances properly. It's not that they are smarter than us. They have just understood the finances properly, and they also are able to take that risk slightly better than other normal people. And so we were discussing about this, and Dharmendra sir also was thinking about this concept, and I think he has put a lot of efforts into creating today's presentation, which is kind of a blueprint to start your hospital, mostly the financial blueprint and how you can do it earlier. And this gives you a different thought process, basically because we were also discussing about when we always talk with doctors, when we always have these financial discussions with other colleagues who are also having similar mindset, similar education, similar knowledge, similar academic level, we may not get a correct kind of an answer for that. It is better to always have these from a different industry expert or somebody who is an expert in that particular area. So I would request Dharmendra sir to start his presentation, and then uh, maybe can you mute us? So Hari sir, can you mute everybody other than the speaker? So let us get into the presentation, and in between let us have discussions and see how it goes. And thank you, Dharmendra sir, for accepting. And I don't want to be between you and the audience. Let us go into the presentation.
thank you so much. There are some familiar names. Dr. Ashwini also is there. I would request for 30 seconds, switch on your videos. After that, even I'll switch off my video and I'll start. So at least we can say hello to each other. I can see Gajanan driving his car. Dr. Kalyan is there. Okay, so there are only that many people listening. Okay, can you just switch on your videos and we'll switch it. Many of the doctors are driving. Huh?
I think on
Sir, good
Sunday.
afternoon.
Okay, so fine. I think, okay, fine. Hello, Dr. Zahir. How are you?
Dr.
Good, good.
Kukia
At
Subramania.
least we see each other for a second or 2 seconds, and at least I know there are people on the other side of the screen. Okay, so that will help me to build some energy. Okay, fine. So let us start. Now you all can switch off your videos when I am switching off my video. Let's.
Sir, you can have it on. I think that I will have it on. We can, so that,
Okay, so my question to you first and foremost is, the people who create a lot of wealth. When you say the meaning of wealth, okay, what is wealth in your mind? Is it a lot of in salary, lot of fees, or is very high fees wealth, or the whole magic of we haven't even recognized where is wealth, where is the wealth hidden in today's life. So what according to you, where is the wealth? Anybody can put in the chat box. Is it more salary earned, more fees earned? Is that wealth?
so wealth is,
Anybody?
so Dr. Karthik has said wealth is freedom.
Saying freedom. He's saying freedom. Okay. So anyway, I think as we move in the presentation, towards the end of the presentation or middle of the presentation, you'll come to know to make your money grow. Okay. So wealth, you will realize at the end of today's presentation. Let's not disclose it now. Second thing is, anyone wants to unmute and talk about it, or let me say how whatever I have understood from doctors. I have many doctors in my family also. So in my mind, how a doctor looks at one is a doctor has always an aspiration to build a hospital. Okay, but many doctors' hospital is to build a large nursing home, and usually the two doctors who will operate are husband wife. That is one observation I have had. Second is, a second observation is I will practice for for 10, 12, 15 years. One day I'll have money. I will build a building. I'll buy the instruments and I'll start my hospital. Is this my understanding right about building a hospital? At least say yes or no.
Yes, sir, that is the general.
Yes, sir, that is true. Sir, till the time you had flashed your last message, it was the same.
Yeah. So the whole idea now, the point is, uh, in today's world, that is why I often tell.
Uh, may I speak something about wealth? What I
Yes,
have an understanding.
yes. Please, please.
I think wealth has many dimensions more than money.
Hmm.
It is definitely having an adequate money, and also being a time rich to pursue whatever your dreams or your hobbies. At the same time, you don't really have to retire. I mean, you do a work which is your, it's your pleasure kind of work, and then you have all the world experiences or the life experiences, and having a connection to a lot of people, and having a very peaceful and quiet life. That's wealth.
Very good answer. Wealth is that, I agree. But tell me, you are a very successful doctor. There are many successful doctors. Okay, over here. Uh, how many hours do you work in a day?
Sir, 1 minute. I'll just mute Dr. Pradeep Reddy. Can you mute yourself? Just 1 minute, sir.
How many hours you or any doctor from
There
your
are 10 hours.
so 10 hours you are meeting patients, right? Okay, then by the time you come home, and how many days of the week you are doing this?
6 days.
6 days. So now, if you want to have time freedom, you want to have relationship, joy of relationship, joy of travel, joy of discovery, joy of hobbies. When will you do it?
You have time to do all these things. When your money will be there when you are not working.
So tell me, a typical doctor who is a practitioner, will he ever in his life be able to live that life?
Unless he creates some source which is going to create income when he's not working.
Absolutely. Now, there are two places. One is you don't become a doctor and start investing money and change your profession. That is one. Second is, if you are a doctor, still you can do it. If you now, the thing is, you build a practice, you build a hospital, and then again you go and sit in that cabin. Okay, only thing is now your wife will sit in a neighboring cabin. Has anything changed?
No.
Earlier, more money will come, but you'll not get your time freedom. You won't get. So the basic premise is that the way we have structured our mind as a doctor will never give you that freedom, because once you are 60 and you're earning more money, you will say that I'll practice till 65. Then you'll say, no, let me practice for another 5 more years. And doctors, at least in the previous generation, used to practice all the way up to 80. And I hope people sitting here don't do that. Okay, but this is how it was. And as a result of which, it can get very boring. Okay, and then you can feel envious of the entire world. And then you start disliking your own profession.
Actually,
This
the
all will
other
happen.
Actually, the other problem is many times doctors are we fool ourselves saying that, "Oh, I enjoy my practice. I like to be working 10 hours a day. I like to be seeing patients even on Sundays." I think that is some kind of we make our mind accept that okay, this is good, and we start like this confirmational thing that okay,
Confirmational bias.
yeah, it is like they say like, oh, I enjoy my practice. We enjoy practice, but is that the only thing which we have to do in life?
See, for a doctor, there are two things. One is, of course, you have to earn your wealth, your income. Second thing is you have to cure patients, right? Now, if the real solution is you can cure more patients, you can earn more money, and you can still be free. Now, that is the mix that we are going to discuss today. So you will make more money. There is no
That is
question.
cloning, huh?
Huh?
Cloning.
I think everybody is following my Instagram channel.
So you
Yes,
make
sir.
you'll make more money, you will have more time, and you will also treat more patients. Okay, so when we go through my presentation, no, you will I have really thoughtfully put some words just to make it clear. I think most of you will get a clear idea uh, through this presentation. If we this is a heavy presentation because there is also a model, a valuation model, and everything. If we feel it's too heavy, we can come back and run it. Today, I'll run you through the presentation, but we can do a second meeting next week where we focus only on the model. Okay, the valuation model. But if we can complete everything today, well and good. Okay, but I would just request one thing to all doctors over here. Open up your minds. Okay, open your minds to a new world. Okay, try to be like a small child. Okay, try to accept that there are other people who can teach you also. Okay, so these are certain things I would request you all to do, because many times, there is this confirmation bias, what Dr. Senthil said, that whatever I believe, I'll only build information around that. Okay, so let us just, my only request is come with have a very open mind. You'll definitely get a lot of ideas from this. So from practice to an enterprise, how doctors can build wealth beyond medicine. Okay, so when I say medicine means, I'm trying to say beyond being a very busy doctor, working 10 hours a day, every 6 days in a week. Okay, we need to outgrow this kind of a scenario. Okay, and there are ways in which it can be done and how it can be done. So, strategic guide for physician entrepreneurs seeking to transform clinical expertise into scalable healthcare wealth. Okay, now, yeah, one sec. Let me just okay. Now here that now let us look at let us start with the practitioner. Why you need to do it? Okay, and where And I'll tell you, practice is not only with doctors. There are chartered accountants who practice. There are financial advisors who practice. Doctors practice. Architects practice. Consultants practice. So there are, so many of these things are common to everybody. Okay, so one is traditional practice generates steady income. Okay, but builds no enterprise value. When you stop working, the revenue stops flowing. So this is typically for a doctor. As long as you are able to go for this 10 hours, 6 days a week, you are earning money. The day you are unwell and you can't go, or the day you go on a holiday or vacation, your income stops. And the day you stop being a doctor and you retire, your income stops. This is first and foremost, you need to have this in your mind. So if a doctor tells me that I'm earning 8 lakhs of income, okay, I normally tell him that that does not mean you are rich. Okay, I have had many clients, doctors earning 8 lakh and feeling very happy. I said, there's nothing to feel happy. Can you tomorrow sit at home and earn 8 lakhs? Then I would say you have wealth. Okay, so when we are working on an active income, and even if we are earning very high income, that is not wealth. I could get a job in Dubai and they may give me, let's say, even 20 lakhs a month. Okay, I'm saying a doctor or a non-doctor also. Okay, now does just getting a job in Dubai for 20 lakhs a month, does that make me rich? Because you don't know whether I will be in that job after 1 year or not. I may go to Dubai, take a job for 20 lakhs a month, be paid for 3 to 6 months, and then I lose my job. I'm out. No exit value. So my first question, when I said what is wealth, please try to reflect on this point. At the end of the presentation, when we are talking, we can have a discussion around it. But please remember this. You get a job paying you 6 lakhs, you're not rich. Okay, that's not wealth. Wealth is when you can earn that money without even going to the hospital. Okay, and when you are in that mindset, you become a creator of many things. So that financial independence is very important. It is better, I would tell you earn 2 or 3 lakhs without going to work. Okay, earn 3 lakhs without going to work. Have that much of independence than earning 10 lakhs, but every day I have to go to work. Okay, so a person is having 8 lakhs per month income, but he only has 2 crores with him in his mutual funds, or 1 crore with his mutual fund. That is not wealth. A person practicing earning even 2 lakhs a month, but is having 10 crores with him. That is wealth. Okay, so you need to understand that money, when you are in control of money, or when rather money is working for you, that means you control the money, then you are wealthy. When money is controlling you, you're not wealthy. I hope you're understanding what I'm saying over here. This is a very important point. We'll discuss this later on. You build a job, not an asset. What is an asset? When you buy mutual funds, when you do an SWP, when you have you can do a 5% SWP, when you are doing a 0.5% SWP on a large corpus, what is happening is you are getting that their entire asset, that investment is an asset. It is generating income for you whether you work or you don't work. Okay, but when you build a job means what? You are earning a good amount of money. Okay, but you have to be there. So if your physical presence is required for money to flow, you have created employment for yourself, not a transferable asset with a market value. Please focus on the word called market value. Okay, a doctor who is a practitioner has zero market value. Sir, I am being very blunt in this discussion because it is required sometimes. Because we all come with our own perceived notions, okay, and get into arguments. But today I'm getting an opportunity to make a presentation to you. Okay, so I'm trying to tell you all that I think I should tell you and what is right. Okay, when a practitioner has zero exit value, remember that. Till the day you are practicing, you're earning. The day you stop practicing, nothing comes to you. Okay, but am I saying that this situation can't be improved, or it can't be made better, or it can't be made attractive? No, it can be made, and that is why I am here. Okay, it is not that as a doctor you will always have zero exit value, but if you are open to planning your life in a different way, you will definitely have exit value, and you can have very high exit value and a very high impact value. When you have a very high exit value and a very high impact value, you have a lot of market value. And this is all possible. But we have to look at the world from a different lens, from a different perspective, which will never come to you if you are facing patients 10 hours a day, going home and resting, coming back next day, curing patients, again going back, you will never get this opportunity. Now, third point is expertise doesn't equal to management. Okay, being an exceptional doctor doesn't automatically qualify you to run a hospital. Enterprise leadership requires different skill set entirely. The point I'm trying to make, all of you are ophthalmologists over here. You all know the human eye very well. Somebody knows how to do the cataract surgery. Somebody knows how to do the retina surgery. Somebody knows how to look after the eye. You all are masters on as far as the eye is concerned. Nobody can argue with you. We all have to surrender before you. If I am a patient, I come to you, I have to surrender myself because you are an expert. But being an eye doctor, how does that make you qualified to build a hospital? How does that make you qualified to buy equipment? How does that make you qualified to evaluate softwares? Unfortunately, because you are a good eye doctor, you start believing you are good in everything. And that is where one of the gaps is there, which I have observed. Okay, so you have to connect with people who are experts in their own field. The most brilliant person in the whole world also can do only a few things very good. If he was not doing those things, he could have done some other thing also very good. But he cannot do everything well at the same time. So this is the trap of endless practice. Would anybody want to reflect on this point so far, Dr. Senthil or anybody?
Yes, sir. Actually, I think these points are well meaning and well taken. And I feel many of us understood these, like because previously we were always thinking that when we start a hospital, we are in business, and like you said, like if somebody's earning 5 lakhs a month, he feels that he is a very rich person. All those things we understand, but the biggest problem which has happened is the pros. We understood the problem, but the biggest issue is now the solutions also doctors are finding that okay, I can now become an expert in everything, as you rightly said in the third point. Like, okay, I can become my own financial. I have learned well, I have learned medicine. I have been first in the college, first in school, and I have done this very difficult degree of medicine. I got this, and I know so much surgery and everything. But why can't I learn finance? I say that is not going to be very tough because we see so many groups in WhatsApp also, particularly post COVID. There are so many groups where they advise doctors to become financial advisors. Doctors think that okay, I can become the best negotiator of any equipment because but how can the only point which we don't really reflect is that we need to outsource the particular thing to an expert, because today's session, even I think I can prepare a topic like this and I can talk, but I am not an expert in this. It is better to bring in somebody like Dharmendra sir, because he has been doing it all his life and it is very difficult to replicate that expertise. That is the difference between businessman and general professional, because a professional, in particular doctors, have a lot of this misunderstanding that I can become an expert of everything. That is the mindset change which we have to. The first mindset change which we have brought till now is that okay, I am a doctor, but I'm a self-employed person. I'm not in the business. The financial knowledge about what is wealth, everything people have understood now. But that understanding has led to a different direction where we want to do the solution by becoming expert ourselves. So, which is what we have to change, as you have rightly said. Yes,
Okay. So let me continue.
Ashwini asks what has to be done. Yeah. So that is what we will tell in the next few slides.
Yeah. So number one is being a doctor isn't equal to being an entrepreneur. Medicine is a science. Clinical practice relies on, see, this is a very important word, sir. All of you have to understand. Clinical practice is evidence-based protocols. Okay, so as a doctor, if you are doing a cataract surgery or you're doing a retina surgery, you can't be creative at the operation theater, at the surgery table, right? You will follow protocols which is evidence-based. Okay, because here is a question of an eye. Okay, or sometimes if it's a surgery, general surgery, it could be a question of a life. You're not going to experiment over there. Okay. Now the point is, when you are doing business, the people experiment. They try new things. Okay, and that sometimes unlocks a lot of value. Okay, so try and understand. One is evidence-based protocols and one is non-evidence-based. Now your chartered accountant won't get creative when he's dealing with your tax. Because if he gets creative when he's dealing with your tax, you may land up being in big trouble with the government. Okay, so there are certain practices which are purely evidence-based. A pilot can't be doing creative things when he's flying an airline. Okay, he tries to be creative, everybody will go down. Okay, so medicine is a science. You all are doing something which is extremely invaluable to society, but it is evidence-based. It is science. You have to follow the checklist, the do's and don'ts to the T. You can't experiment. Okay. Experiments can be done perhaps with animals. And then there's a whole system that brings a new knowledge into medicine. Okay. Hospital, on the other hand, is an enterprise. Please understand this point. Okay. Running a healthcare facility demands expertise in human resources. Okay. How to manage 20 people under me in such a way that they are all excited, they are all having a lot of energy. How can I get energy out of 20 people? How I can show them that vision that becomes their vision? Okay. Which doctor has handled 10 people, 15 people at a time? Impossible. Very few. Okay. So this is again a place that you understand that running a healthcare facility demands expertise in human resources, financial management. How much should I take as raise capital as debt? How much should I raise capital as equity? What kind of partners I should have? Okay, how do I manage my cash flows? How do I manage my taxes? Very, very specialized field and very complex. Okay, operational systems, strategic marketing, technology, infrastructure. Now, all these things are not necessarily evidence-based. Okay, because in this world, what we are actually seeing more is of disruption. Okay, it's a disruptive world. The software which was relevant 1 year back is no more relevant today. A way of doing things which was relevant 3 years back has changed completely today. This doesn't happen with the human eye. Okay, it doesn't happen. The equipment might be very modern and might change, but the basic evidence-based protocols won't change that fast. But the hospital is an enterprise. How to manage people is an art. Okay, so now these are two completely different things. So by being a good doctor, how does that make the doctor an expert in all of this? Okay, and then again, my question is, I was having a discussion with Dr. Senthil. If tomorrow you are looking for a partner, a business partner to start a practice, the natural tendency will be I'll hunt for a friend who's a doctor, or I'll do it with my wife. Okay, I have seen people who have started businesses with their wives have suffered the most, because when the business has become very big, the wife's mindset hasn't changed. The man who's a businessman, he wants to take the business to a different level. He wants to raise capital. The wife says, I don't want to do it, and they're stuck. I have seen it not in a doctor's context, but in other contexts. Okay, so the point is, even if you're a doctor and you're looking for somebody to partner you, you might naturally tend to look for another doctor. Okay, I was asking Dr. Senthil this question. If he wants somebody to help him in opthal and grow opthal, will he hunt for a doctor or a non-doctor? So today he said, earlier he maybe would have looked for a doctor, but now he'll look for a non-doctor. Okay, so the point is, even when you are starting a hospital, does it really make sense that your partner should be a doctor? Or do you think it would now having seen this slide, what do you think? Is it better to have a partner as a doctor or a non-doctor? Can somebody participate on the chat box? So Dr. Senthil, can you read the answer, read anything coming? I am not able to see the chat box now. Okay, I can see it now. I can see it now. Okay, now let me see what people are saying. Complementary skills are required. So Karthik is saying that non-doctor, right? Vaishali also is saying non-doctor. So very clearly we have established one point. Okay, so I think there is not much of a. So I think we've established this. We can move ahead. Okay, so this is a very important part of today's thing because your natural tendency might have been that I would start. Let's let 4 doctors get together and start a hospital. Okay, you can certainly do it. I'm not saying you can't do it. Okay, as long as you get clarity. See, what's very important is clarity. Okay, like I can practice. My practice is growing. I'm earning 10 lakhs rupees a month. Okay, but suddenly one day I'm 80 years old or 75 years old. I've done nothing in life. That is lack of clarity. So many times we don't have clarity. So if you have 4 doctor friends and you're starting a hospital, maybe you'll have to, 3 of them have to sacrifice being a doctor. They will not see a patient again in future. Are they willing to do that? Okay, very difficult, right? So these are kind of things. So we require a lot of clarity when you're thinking of setting up a business. So now again, many times we say hospital. Okay, but many times this hospital is what? It's a bigger clinic. Initially, you are sitting in a small room, then you make 2 or 3 rooms with a few equipment, you call it a hospital. Okay, but that is not necessarily a hospital. So this is what this particular slide I'm trying to show is if you are in a bigger clinic with you and your spouse sitting, okay, it is still personality driven. Success depends on founder's reputation and presence. So it is your skill sets, your name who is still driving the whole clinic. Okay. Now the point is, you may say, so what? I am a topper. I have studied from All India Institute of Medical Sciences. Okay, I was a topper. I understand the human eye very well. Okay, so what's wrong if it is personality driven? Am I right? Is that anybody would like to participate in this question? Anybody would say, would at least reflect on this question? Dr. Senthil, any messages? I can't see.
No, sir. No.
Yeah, I'm seeing. Definitely somebody with more enterprise or yeah. But my question was, many people think so. Preddy is saying that. Yeah, so many people think that I am a great doctor. I am the best heart surgeon. So now tell me one thing, that the heart surgeon who was the best 10 years back, okay, and today maybe he is 85 years old. Will you go to him or will you go to a 60-year-old who's also very good? Whom will you go to? Let's say you have a heart surgery. There was a guy.
60 year.
That means that 85-year-old person is still alive. Okay, only thing is 85, he's 85. Okay. But at one point he was the number 1 in India. So, but people stopped going to him, right? Okay, so this is a very important point that you have to keep in mind. That if I build a clinic only on my name and my reputation, I have no market value. Nobody will want to touch me with a barge pole. As long as I'm still doing a job, I'm still selling my skill, and I'm still earning a lot of money, but it is a job. Okay, I haven't converted it into an enterprise yet. Okay, so your revenue model is your time multiplied by number of patients. At the most, it will become 2x. With many doctors, spouses are doctors. Okay, so husband and wife sit in the same establishment. You may have a 2x. Okay, so 2x into number of patients. That's largely more or less the revenue model, which is nothing but a larger clinic. We are getting some disturbance.
डिजाइन ही ऐसा बना हुआ है, स्टाइल है वो तो.
Can that be managed? Dr. Senthil,
अभी एक चीज के दिमाग में क्यों चल रहा है?
can we
छोड़
mute
के कभी
everyone?
भी यूज हो सकता है. चलो, लेकिन ऐसा पीस मिलते नहीं है आसानी से.
Hello.
है तो वो बता देंगी सही है.
लेकिन ये बात सही है कि ऐसा पीस मिलता नहीं है.
मतलब और ना एकदम से भाभी, अब एकदम से कोई फंक्शन निकलता है तो ये इतनी आसानी से नहीं बनेगा. ये बनने में भी टाइम
लेकिन ये
लगेगा.
महंगा
लगा
पीस है.
आपकी कुछ बहुत
ये महंगा भी बहुत पीस है.
Dr. Senthil is not there. What?
Hello. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Dr.
अब अच्छा
Senthil, there's too much of disturbance.
Just let me mute. Please, I'll just move. Yeah, please continue, sir.
Yeah. Okay, so now so revenue model is time into number of patients. Time can be maximum 2x if it is both spouses. Stability very fragile and vulnerable if the doctor is absent. So a bigger clinic may have better equipment. You may buy the best equipment available. But if the ones to run that equipment are you and your wife only, then you have really done nothing. And many times after 5 or 10 or 10 years of practice, you reach this level. So basically there has been no promotion. It's just the same. Okay, so this is again something you must bear in mind. A real hospital has to be process driven. Success depends on systems, protocols, and team execution. So now please understand, if you are doing something which is largely evidence-based activity, supported by technology, okay, you must understand that this particular, you should feel very happy, number one. You should never feel very happy if you're if I'll give you an example of a painter. If you're a painter and you do the best painting in the world, you can never be a very rich person. And second thing is, it's a creative art, so you can't create 10 painters like you. It is very, very difficult, impossible. Okay, so when you are doing something which is evidence-based, you are very lucky. So as a doctor, you have to first feel you are blessed that you are doing something evidence-based. Okay, why can somebody write on the chat box? Why am I asking this? Why am I saying this?
Yes, sir. Because if it is evidence-based, then evidence is available to everyone. So we can create.
Absolutely. So you can create more doctors. Okay, you can create more doctors. You can replicate. Okay, and there is something called the normal distribution curve. Okay, which basically says that in any process in life, any process, whether it is a surgery, operation, meeting patients, whether it is a chartered accountant's life, anybody's life, majority of the things that happen are within a normal range, means most things are not complicated. Okay, only on the sides and edges, exceptions and complicated cases you will get, which basically means that you can replicate easily. Maybe one particular case may come where you may be able to understand it better and your other doctor may not be able to do it. They are again getting... better that we... Okay, so what happens is here you can replicate, and because it is evidence-based, it's easy for you to replicate. And again, as I said, majority of the cases would be under the normal distribution curve, which means that majority of the cases could be standard cases and definitely can be replicated by doctors. Okay, they may not be as brilliant as you in your ACADS, but still they can do and manage. And if you train them well, they will do a very good job. Might even do a better job. Okay, it's possible. So that is the biggest advantage a doctor has. So process driven. Success depends on systems, protocols, and team execution. Okay, revenue model is operational systems into capacity utilization. Okay, so the capacity that the hospital has and the systems that you have, operational system, that creates your revenue, which means capacity can be increased, it can be utilized to 80-90%, and your systems means many things, right from how a patient feels when he enters, how the receptionist talks to him, what kind of place he sits in, what kind of place, how good your OT is, how good your rooms are, how good the food is, okay, and how good the exit from the hospital is, how easy it is to enter. Enter as in how to be admitted, how easy it is to be admitted and how easy it is to leave. So many things requires systems, processes, finance softwares, okay, experience, color of the wall, design on the wall, many things are there. Softwares, training of people, all this. That is what is your systems. Okay, is it stable? Very sustainable through documented procedures, SOPs, and your trained teams. This is a hospital where you have created an asset. Because one day, if you step out of this hospital and go for a holiday, your hospital will run at the same pace. It can even run faster, but it won't run slower. That is when you have built something where the outside world is interested. When the outside world is interested to take stake in it, now you have, it's called market value. Now you have an asset that is transferable, an asset that is legacy, the asset that you can pass it on to the next generation, an asset that you can pass it on to somebody else who wants to acquire. Now you have created an automatic wealth creating machine. This is called wealth. Earning a large fees is not wealth. This is wealth. Is everybody clear? Has everybody understood? Can you participate on the chat box? Is it clear to everyone? Okay, Pradeep. See, systems and protocol is nothing but, as I said, no, you need to have a standard operating process. How does the patient get admitted? Okay, what are the facilities? How is your reception? How are the reception people trained? How soon he can get his bed? How soon, when a patient wants to exit, there are many hospitals. The paperwork, the accounting paperwork takes so long that a patient who has to actually get discharged at 8 in the morning will get discharged at 4 in the evening. This happens. Okay, now this is because of processes. So it could be accounting process, it could be, and then cleanliness of a hospital, how clean it is, how the toilets are. All this is part of, you can be the best doctor, but if you have created a very dirty, messy hospital, all your degrees and everything will go down the drain. Sometimes even the toilets matter so much. So then you need to have an admin person, somebody who ensures that things are managed well. Then you require chartered accountants, you require architects, so much supply chain. Your supply chain is so big. You want equipment manufacturers, you need to know them. You need to figure out how you buy the equipment. You require an accounting and finance person. So those are the systems and processes. So much more than just looking at patients. So much more. Whereas your bigger clinic is nothing but your small clinic. 1 or 2 compounders and your work is done. It's not so difficult. But this is a very difficult thing. But if you do it well, it's very valuable. Bigger clinic is bigger clinic, zero exit value. So this is a very important thing which I wanted all of you all to understand. Okay, so I think let's move ahead. Now, learning from Darwin's theory of evolution by natural selection. Okay, this is again very important for people who are practitioners, who are experts, who are very skillful. Okay, but please understand, when the world advanced, how the world advanced. Okay, human being is not the strongest animal. Okay, you have tigers, lions, you have dinosaurs. Okay, there are so many animals, they can kill us in one go. But how is it that the human being became the most advanced in this world? Okay, so Darwin taught us survival belongs not to the strongest, but to the most adaptable. Humanity's edge wasn't physical dominance, but collaborative intelligence. Enterprise mirrors the same principle. It's structured cooperation for shared survival and success. I think you must have understood this slide by now. The whole idea was human beings had the ability to collaborate. Today, McDonald's, created in the US, is available across the world. Coca-Cola, which was a drink created in the US, today is available practically around the globe because of collaboration. And that collaboration has created huge valuation. Okay, you talk about Google, you talk about Microsoft, you talk about ChatGPT. They are all pervasive across the world. Every country people are using it. Okay, now that is because of collaboration and cooperation. You have Apple phone. You have a phone like Apple, which belongs to the US, manufactured in India and Vietnam. Okay, it's employees who are working from across the world. Now look at the human brain, how collaborative it is, how it has been able to connect people across the world, people who speak different languages, people who belong to different races. But this is the power of human being. And true wealth, who are the wealthiest people? The people who own the brand Google, people who own the brand Coca-Cola, the people who own the brand Microsoft. Look at the world's biggest brands, highest valuation brands. These are the companies. Now it is Nvidia, it is ChatGPT. These are the biggest companies. They are the most valuable companies, the most wealthiest companies. They have grown on the back of massive collaboration. So first and foremost, here the message for all of you is you have to collaborate. You have to collaborate, and you have to collaborate with in a diversified way. So I was having a discussion with again Dr. Senthil that we can have doctors collaborating. Yes, you can have, provided the other doctors are willing to sacrifice. Okay, you can. Second thing is, it's like saying in investing, I'll put all my money in small caps. Will that work? Highly volatile. It can work extremely well, but it can also go down and it can work very badly also. Okay, so similarly, if you are collaborating only with doctors, you run that risk. Okay, but if you collaborate with non-doctors, okay, you'll get new ideas, new thinking, new thought processes. Because remember, enterprise is not a human eye. Enterprise is not a human body. Once you are in a big hospital, the human eye, human body may be the magnet to get people over there. Maybe that is a larger purpose. But the success of a hospital depends not only on that, but on variety of things. And both are required. You can have a great doctor and a great treatment, but extremely bad hospital management, you will not succeed. Likewise, you can have a 5-star hospital, but a very poor medical practitioners, again, you won't succeed. Now, which is more important? Both are important. It is like saying that is your mom more important or your dad more important? Both are more important. There is no there is no this is better and that is better. Such is the world. And that is how it is. And one has to accept it.
Sir, actually, the collaboration also, the systems for doctors are designed that way. Basically, because doctors are more collaborating, talking with other doctors, like in the WhatsApp group or even our conferences. We are ophthalmologists attend the conference of other ophthalmologists. So you are always trying to collaborate with people, move around, collaborate with people who are similar caliber to you, but not with people who have a different mindset. So that is because our one thing is the systems are designed that way. So there is an ophthalmology association, then you have the local ophthalmic society. So you always are moving more and more and more with the ophthalmology part. And other thing is the mindset also. Once somebody becomes a doctor, we always think, oh, I cannot collaborate with another, maybe an engineer, or even for that sake, a doctor always marries a doctor. As you said, that is, I think, one of the biggest disadvantage sometimes is marrying another doctor, basically because it is the same mindset. So had a doctor married another non-medical person, I think things will be more different. But
So that is
majority of the
that is something that is treading on a very risky zone that we can't say. But at least at the business partner level,
See, if you see the
you.
most successful enterprises, let's say Microsoft or even the bigger companies, there are always two people who have got different skill set, different mindset. Like Apple, there was Steve Jobs who was a marketing genius, there was Steve Wozniak who was a
Yes.
development genius. So
Yeah,
basically,
yeah, right. He was like the doctor. This
yeah,
guy was, like I was telling,
एनवलप पे डालो या देखो मैं देखता हूँ 2 मिनट
1 minute, sir. I'll just mute.
Okay.
Yeah. You can please continue, sir. Please continue.
Yeah. Okay. So now, this is a very important point now, again, this slide. Capital is abundant, time isn't. See, 10 to 15 years ago, or maybe 20 years ago, capital was not abundant. Okay, that was a different world. Okay, so our fathers, uncles, they did build a hospital slowly as they collected capital. So that time they used to earn, they would put money in fixed deposit, that fixed deposit would grow. They would take some bank loan and then they would individually construct a small hospital, then make their hospital a little larger. They'll get some land from the government if you are a well-reputed doctor. That is how it was done. Initially, you build a small hospital, then you make it bigger and bigger. This is how it was done. This was at one point in time. Okay, today we live in a very disruptive world. In a disruptive world, what you are planning to do after 10 years will become irrelevant next year itself, or maybe in 3 or 4 years. Okay, so obsolescence and irrelevance is very large, and that is called disruptive world. But in a disruptive world, you get capital very easily. Capital is abundant. This is one very important point you must bear in mind. So if you have a dream to build a hospital, and then this dream is 10 years later, it will never happen. Believe me, it won't happen. I guarantee you, it won't happen. 10 years back, maybe it would have happened. Today, if you are looking 10 years later, I'll build a hospital, take it in writing from me, it will never, never, never happen. I can guarantee you that. After 10 years, we can discuss that. But that same dream you can fulfill in a year or two. In 1 year, you can fulfill it. And that is where the game has changed. So earlier it is like how people would in the past buy a house and a car. In the past, people would buy a car at the end of their careers. Okay, when the guy was 50 years, he would buy a car. He would buy his house at the end of his career. Today, what is happening? You buy a car moment you start working. If you wish to buy a house, you can buy it immediately. And it is at EMI. And why EMI is happening? Because capital is abundant. There are people wanting to loan money to you. Okay, so now we live in a capital abundant world. Okay, in a capital abundant world, you need to fulfill your dreams fast because time is not available. Okay, you build something fast and you run it for 5 or 10 years and you keep evolving. Okay, that is how the world is now. So remember that if you want to build a hospital, think of building it within the next 1 or 2 years. There's no, and especially if you are yourself a postgraduate, you yourself have 5 to 10 years or 15 years of experience as a practitioner, then it is high time now you do it. Those days are gone when you'll build something at the age of 65, 70. It's not going to happen because your competitor will be a doctor who's only 40 years old and he would have built a bigger hospital than you. Okay, so this is something you must bear in mind. Okay, so eager capital seeking help. There is bank loans, there is private equity firms, angel investors are actively searching for promising healthcare projects. The market is flush with investment capital. And investment capital will be available more and more and more in India, at least for the next 10 to 15 years. Okay, this is definite because it's a fast growing economy. Okay, so a lot of people want to grow faster. They want to get the advantages of scale. They want to scale up. If somebody else has a good hospital, there are other brands who just want to buy it off straight away off the shelf because they know that the growth is so fast. Growth is far more important when it comes to valuation than how much you're earning. If I'm earning a lot of money, but I'm not growing, nobody will touch you. I may be earning less, but if my system is such that I'm in a high growth sector, you'll have lot of people wanting to come to you. That is the game. Okay. Then comes clarity is the scarce resource. I told you in the beginning also. We need to have clarity. That if I want to make money, I need to make money at a time when I can also enjoy my money. There is no point making money and by the time I have money to see the world, I'm 70 years old. Okay, it doesn't help. Okay, so clarity is very important. What is the purpose? Why am I here? Okay, I make so much of money. Most people die rich and live poor in India. Okay, they are only accumulating, no clarity. One day they drop dead, their assets will be like 10 crores. They've never enjoyed their money. So that is lack of clarity. Okay, what's truly rare isn't money. It's clear vision, well-defined strategy, and an execution roadmap. Capital follows clarity. Whether you want to create impact, you want to create valuation, you want to do eye surgery, a unique eye surgery at the lowest cost. You want to provide world-class surgery, which is available in US today here. Okay, so you have to have clarity. Second thing, you need to have what kind of impact you want to make on the world. So that clarity, that vision is very important. And disruption rewards structure. Okay, so in a disruptive world, if you have a strong foundation and your structure is clear, the world will always reward you. In today's healthcare landscape, systematic innovation beats individual heroics. Okay, so how it's in any field, whether you look at hotel industry, airline industry, health industry, you see there's the packaging, the infrastructure, the surroundings have become so very important now. Scalable systems create enduring value. Okay, not solo superhuman effort. So this solo superhuman effort is a story 100% of the past, not of the future. So when you build a hospital by building structure, processes and all that, by hiring a team, creating a team, building a brand, building system processes, earning goodwill, providing service which of the highest class and treatment also, then you start getting valuation income. And valuation is a multiple. It is several times your earning. So if you're earning, let's say, 1 crore in a year, your valuation could be 10 crores. Now imagine it would have taken you 10 years to earn 10 crores. You can earn 10 crores today itself. Now that is valuation, and 10 crore will become 40 crores in 10 years. Otherwise, you would have reached 10 crores. Okay, now in 20 years, it would be 160 crores. Now we are talking about hundreds of crores. That is how valuation works. The essential mindset shift. I save money by doing everything myself and maintaining complete control over every aspect of my business. But the new thinking is I save time by hiring specialized professionals, allowing me to focus on strategic growth and high value activities. The moment your time is free, your eyes and your mind will 100% spot bigger opportunities. So now, Dr. Senthil, we have come to this case study. Maybe
Sir,
we
may I
will.
ask you?
Yeah,
Okay,
please,
sir.
please.
Can you go to previous slide and the one previous? Yes, this was regarding, can you please elaborate a little more on this disruption reward structure? So, like you said, if you have a hospital, suppose there are two hospitals uh, by maybe a doctor couple and who are having very good, what would you say, good patient footfall. They are doing good revenue. They are having excellent processes and not excellent, but good processes, well replicable processes, as opposed to a similar kind of setup in which the structure also is similar, the equipment also is similar, but the processes are maybe little haywire. They are not much replicable. It's like a volatile kind. Sometimes it is a very good experience, sometimes it is not. So suppose a valuer comes to acquire a practice, they will see more value in better processes, and
They
it will
will.
be valued more. Is that so?
They,
Yeah.
they they will definitely see processes that goes without saying. Okay, there are there are certain things which are you can't do without, and certain things that are nice to
Yeah,
have.
that
Okay,
was the question, sir.
okay. So now you it is. Let me give you the example in a different way. Let somebody comes to buy. Okay, now you have two places have good processes. Now one place which doesn't have good processes, then anyway they have to build their processes. So the buyer won't be interested. If you have very good process and system, but only husband and wife are practicing, okay, they won't be very happy to buy it at a high price,
See,
even if they are the best doctors.
single doctor is valued lesser than multiple doctors, and basically, the younger the doctor, he gets more valuation. Like having a registered trademark brand will give you a better valuation. Having good processes, good software. Say you say that you have seen 20,000 patients, but if you have a data of those 20,000 patients in a software where you have all the data, where the phone numbers are there, that gives you more value. So that is why hospital.
Also, whether out of those patients, how many patients are continuously coming to you? Okay, in your hospital, have you built any other business model where, for example, people come for cure to hospital? Do you have a preventive department also? So people are not only coming for cure, they are coming to buy specs, They're coming to get preventive checks. They are coming for some other thing. Is that same person coming and giving you more and more lifetime value?
See,
Those kind of things they will check.
I will
That is more important than the doctor being better or less. So how good he is, in that scale, those things are very more important.
the biggest example is when individual hospital is valued, you get 8 to 10 times of EBITDA. But on the other hand, a corporate, recently also one corporate hospital raised money where they get a 30x EBITDA. So basically what the corporate is doing is acquiring capital from a larger business entity and then aggregating all the small hospitals. Let's say they acquire a 1 crore hospital for 10 crores. But a corporate hospital has a value of 30 crores, or when they go into the public market, they have a 35x EBITDA valuation. So basically, I think if you understand what is the smart thing the corporates are doing is they raise money at a very high valuation and they acquire a consolidated smaller practices. And why they get that 30x EBITDA is because they have more better processes, more systems, more brand value. Everything is more than what an individual practice has. So they are able to get a 30 times better valuation than an individual hospital. So more and more importance on the processes, systems, which is important if somebody, even if you're not looking at a valuation point also, the moment you are establishing good systems and processes, you get time freedom, all those things. Your time and your revenue automatically increases. So it's not only thinking about valuation, but having good, decent systems and processes is
Oh, that is well taken, sir. That is can't agree more for that. I was just asking what is the perspective? I mean, a valuer side.
Now, I would just ask you one question. You go to a hotel called Taj, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, who owns Taj?
Tata's.
Yeah, the group, the
Tata
trust
Group,
or the
Tata
group.
Group.
Tata Group. Okay. Now, supposing tomorrow you read a newspaper article that Birla Group has taken over majority stake of the Taj hotels. Will you stop going to Taj?
No, will not, because the processes and experience will be same.
Absolutely. This is the reason what Dr. Senthil said, you get a 30 value. This thing is precisely that. For us now, whether it is any brand that we like, let's say we gave you the example of Taj, you can take a restaurant brand, you can take an airline brand. If Air India is bought over by Birla, we'll continue flying in Air India. Okay, it doesn't matter whoever buys it. Now, if the CEO of Air India gets changes and somebody else is brought in his place, it doesn't matter to us at all. Now that is when the company is highly valued because it's already a system which is automatically running and has legacy power. It can move ahead. Whereas a good doctor, when he's building something on his own name, he is a human being. He cannot live forever. He will die one day. When he dies or when he can't practice, okay, his system collapses. And nobody wants to touch a system which will collapse.
See, if I can add some more point on this. See, taking the example of Dharmendra sir runs this financial advisory services company. What he did was this financial advisory is something very personalized, just like a doctor. But what happens is, let's say a financial advisor or a financial person creates a portfolio of 200 crores for him. So he earns money out of it from the 200 crores. But if the financial advisor is becoming incapacitated or if he dies, then whatever the portfolio is created goes into nothing. So what Dharmendra sir has done is basically 5 of them, or I think 4 of them, have joined together to create a larger company. So then now, because there is a larger entity, one thing is they get more credibility because it's a bigger company, private limited, rather than you investing in one particular individual, you're investing with a company backup. And if something happens to one of the partners also, basically there is the other 3 or 4 people will take care of the entity, and they have got they're investing little bit more on more systems and processes. They can appoint valuation people who can do analysis. They can hire good people. So something similar is what, because now this talk on the systems and processes have come. So basically, I'm also, or in Aftal, we are planning to launch a model of common branded clinics, like where you will run your hospital, but you will also have this as a Aftal associate. You just have the Aftal brand along with it. And then with the minimum subscription fee, we can inculcate all these systems and processes. Let's identify 5 or 7 out of it, and then all the systems and processes can be put in for our clinics. A lot of people have thought about this idea, but I think because they were not collaborating with the experts, it was not working previously. But in 2026, we are planning to launch this common branded clinics where you will run your company is going to be separate, but you will also have the backup of Aftal branding, where we can have a common website, we can have common Instagram channel, common person for purchase. All the processes and systems can be standardized for all these 50 hospitals. So I will be talking more about that also. Maybe I hope all of you have supported our initiatives. This can also become a good initiative. So we'll launch it in January 2026 and planning to take around 50 hospitals in the first instance. And then slowly we can improvise it. I will not say that we are going to do wonders, but I'm thinking that it is going to be a very good start where we will improvise step by step on the systems and processes. So more information I will send you as we progress. I think, sir, you can get back to the presentation.
Yeah, so see what Dr. Senthil is saying, it's like this. Either you become the lion yourself, build a brand hospital, or at some stage you join a larger lion. Okay. So if like either you build a Coke brand or you become a bottler of Coke. Okay, so the point is, it's important that we promise perpetuity to clients. Okay, now it may not be so relevant when it comes to medical practice, but when it comes to money management, if somebody is giving me money for 15, 20, 30 years, I'm already 57 years
Sir,
old. Okay, so 30 years
sir,
later, I cannot be there.
if I may interrupt.
Yeah.
Sir, when we know it is the right time to collaborate, from when? Matlab, if we are, okay, whether I am not up to that mark or I have not reached a level, or when will that I as a doctor will get to know that part?
No, I think the day you pass your postgraduate and you become a doctor, and if you're not taken up a job in a big corporate hospital where you're being paid a high salary, okay, and you've chosen to take your own practice ahead, from that day itself, you have to think of collaboration.
See, collaboration begins earlier on, like your friends also, you are collaborating with them. So, a lot of things. I think there is no specific time that you should collaborate only after reaching a certain stage, because only if you collaborate, you will reach that particular stage. And all the bigger hospitals, even the bigger hospital, let's say, for example, LV Prasad or Shankar Netralaya, how many collaborations they have? Like, they collaborate with Microsoft, they collaborate with Google, they collaborate with the government. They have multiple collaboration. They collaborate with doctors, they collaborate with the innovators. So many collaboration they form. So we are not a large organization, but still we can collaborate with a lot of other people. So collaboration should start even before you start your practice, or collaboration should start even when you are in school or college. I don't think there is any specific time for collaboration.
Also,
Collaboration means to help, or a partnership type thing, or collaboration means what? Matlab,
See, I understand you. See, how is this presentation happening? Because I am collaborating with Dharmendra, sir. Otherwise,
yes.
he is a financial person. So, if I had not had this collaboration, we will not get this different thought process, different idea. So basically, you can collaborate with anybody, with multiple people. Only thing is, you have to collaborate with people who are not going to value or who are waste your time. Basically, you have to collaborate with people who have positive mindsets, people who have different perspective than what you are having. I think Dr. Amit has a question. Dr. Amit Solanki.
Yes, sir. Dharmendra sir, I have a question for you, and if Dr. Santisal also can give his inputs. So like I am 46 years old and my wife is a 45 years old. I am an eye specialist. My wife is a dental surgeon. We both runs our own clinics in the rented premises, and we have a at the different places, like different locations, and we have our residential flat also at different locations. Now, so far before joining the Ofta, like our mindset was a typical doctor mindset. Like since we have a three different places, why not to purchase a plot and then build a building like G+3, have a dental clinic on one floor, eye hospitals on two floors, and on the top have a residency. But now the mindset is changing that why not for that, like we need to have a huge, like we have to invest our entire savings, a huge capital, and probably we'll have to take a large amount of the loan also, which may take another few years to repay. So if we have a some amount of good amount of capital, then why not to invest in a expansion of our existing business rather than purchasing a plot or a new building, owning it.
So today's presentation, when I move to the case study,
Yeah.
this is exactly what will be covering. Okay,
Okay.
you'll be surprised that we live in a house and the house is costing 5 crores, 6 crores. We feel so happy about it. No, this flat of mine is 7 crores. Okay, if you build a good brand, okay, and you put your system process and your mindset, clarity, vision, people, training, all that you put in order, okay, you can sell it for 30, 40 crores. Okay, so businesses
Right.
are sold like that. Second thing, I wanted to also say that since he spoke about my company, I have, people come to me, they take my guidance, they meet my team. My team is paid, I pay the salary that I pay my team is the same salary that I take. Okay, I want
Okay.
to build a team like that, and I have hired people who are better than me. I have hired toppers, okay, who are better than me. I have had chartered accountants. Okay, so people who come and work with in my company, Glossum, it's very clear. I was telling you that I'm 57 years old. I may not be alive 15, 20 years from today. But a person who's putting money, he's putting money for 30 years. And even if he's there, he's not there, his children will be part of that wealth. How do I promise perpetuity? I have to hire that quality people. I have to build a brand. People should not search for me. In fact, most of my clients stop searching for me very fast. They come, they meet me, we start something. Within 2, 3 months, they are very comfortable with the team. They do not even searching for me. Now, if I was a specialist doctor, I would have felt terrible about it.
That is your biggest
I would say,
success, sir.
I have lost my, I mean, I have such a big doctor, I'm a topper, I'm supposed to be the specialist, supposed to be best in India, best in Mumbai, nobody's coming to me. I feel very happy when my clients don't bother search for me. Because they are getting the service from the brand and from my vision. The vision that I've created, the team that I've created, they are giving them better service. Why will I feel unhappy? I'm the owner of that.
See, Dr.
Owning
Amit,
That's
something
wealth.
doesn't mean you
Dr.
yourself are a practitioner, player.
Amit, what you will be doing is if you go buy this own place, because now even in your city, real estate is hyperinflated. That property is not going to appreciate, and you are going to lock up your growth capital in a building. Because see,
Correct.
you whatever money you have, you can invest in your business in the clinic or make it more and more better. Go to a better rented place also, and create a valuation rather than creating an asset. Because when you buy a building, you are creating an asset, and that asset, to dilute that asset, whether your children will be having it, whether they are going to enjoy it, it's going to be a story. But you build a valuation with the money you have, and that is better. Because I have one more, even there was another doctor who asked me the similar question. He already had a building, he wanted to build another 30,000 square feet building. I said, why do you want to build a 30,000 square feet building? Because it's not going to really help. And why the corporates are going on a rented mode? Because they have the capital locked up for the business development, not on a particular asset. Because asset will give you boost your ego, but asset doesn't make a lot of business sense. And let's say you are taking another 3, 4, 5 crores loan, you will be running for the next 10 years to repay the loan. Like you lose all your
Correct.
life on repaying that loan. So I don't think if you already have a parental asset from the family, you can use that. But at a 46, 47, buying your own building, running for another 10, 15 years to repay that doesn't make a big sense. But it will give you a ego boost. You can say, oh, I have my own building and
It
feel.
won't even give a ego boost. You will actually go through stress.
End of the day, you are not going to take your building with you. So you are.
Then the another option is like whatever amount I am having, I can use it for expansion to build another LASIK center or a peripheral centers, one
Ah,
more branch.
and
So
if you
that
have
is
surplus,
going
you
to help me
invest
to
that
earn.
money. You
So
invest.
here, like me and my wife are having a debate. Like she is more into the previous mindset that no, we should have our own hospital and the top there is a residence. So that's why I just wanted to ask.
No,
I gave you an example, no, where I also
Yeah.
have
Amit sir, is she sitting beside you?
I have a
No.
I have a client. I have a
she
client.
will think that we are the people who are poisoning your mind.
No, I have a client who comes to me very troubled. He says that, look, I completely agree that I need to scale up. I need to do all that, but my wife is not agreeing.
See, what you can tell your wife is basically ask her to wait for another 5 or 10, 8 years when you reach 50, 55, where you will have a huge valuation for your present hospital. And maybe you sell it to a bigger corporate, have a 10 or 20, 30 crore with you, where you can buy a very big house rather than having a smaller house. No, because this owner of Hudson, this big dairy company, which has got a 4,000 crore turnover in Tamil Nadu, he got his first house when he was 56 years old. Doesn't mean he couldn't have bought a house. He had so much of money. He had a public limited company. But whatever money he was making, he was only investing in business. He was not buying a house for himself. Even
As far as house is concerned, we are already having our own premises, residential premises. Only the clinics are on the rented these things.
yeah.
So my thought process was like, why not to use that money for expansion of the
Yeah,
business rather than for investing?
your thought process is right. Today, asset light companies are highly valued. There is a term called price upon earnings. It is not price upon your book value. Price upon earnings is you will get the 30, 35, 40 is the P by E in many fast growing businesses which are asset light. So you today we don't talk about asset heavy. You talk about a brand. A brand, it is like saying, if I have a lot of wealth, let's say I have 10 crores with me, okay, as financial assets, I leave Mumbai and go to Delhi or I go to Bhubaneswar or any other city, the money travels with me. Okay, but if I have a big fat building in Mumbai and I want to leave, go to another city, I can't. It's a big, okay, so remember that big businesses are the brands. They are the real estate in the minds of people, the customer. So Coca-Cola has space in my head, in your head, in all the
Correct.
people who are sitting here. It has taken real estate inside our head. And that is the wealth. Wealth is not having a factory. Today the Coca-Cola brand value is more than all their factories and land and put together.
In
Okay.
fact, to add it put to that, Coca-Cola doesn't do anything. Coca-Cola only has the brand. The bottling is done by somebody. The distribution is done by somebody. The manufacturing, everything is done outsourced. Coca-Cola doesn't do anything. Coca-Cola owns the brand. Coca-Cola markets the brand. They don't do any, and they give
Sir,
the prototype and how to.
sir, sir,
Yeah.
sir. Other mindset is that if we have a rented place, it's going to change for 5 years down line or 10 year down line. That's why we are
But we can go
having
for
a.
a long-term lease, no?
See, you can
That's one
go
option.
for a 9 year, 10 year lease, and if you're
You,
paying the rent.
I will flip this the other way around. You bought a hospital, okay, with your own money. Okay, now the opportunity or your practice or the opportunity of practice becomes 5x. Okay, what will you do? If you are taken out on rent, you would have immediately moved out and taken a bigger building on rent. So it works both ways, no?
See, to give a philosophical view, our life itself is rented. We are not going to be permanent here. So
Absolutely.
basically, there is nothing permanent. So you will always figure out a way. Go for a long-term lease. And if you are paying the rent properly, I don't think the owner is going. These are all fears which are inculcated into our mind because
These are inculcated because we grew up in an economy which was actually not wealthy. Okay, so many of many of the perceptions we have is something we have inherited from our parents.
just to give.
Our parents grew up in a country which didn't have anything.
See,
Okay, that
even Even Dharmendra sir has sold all his apartment. He doesn't own any apartment or any property. So he has sold his apartment. He lives in a very good rented house, which has got more value than he can, and invested all the money. So I don't think there is any pleasure in owning a big apartment or bigger cars. All those things, I think those minds
Absolutely.
have to change.
Thank
Actually,
you so
one
much,
more
sir.
point.
Sir, you can
I
explain about your houses, sir. Maybe that will give a good idea for the audience.
Pardon?
one
About
of
why
the
you sold your houses. Why you sold your
Yeah, I had 4 or 5 houses. I also did not understand money management so well 15, 20 years ago. And I had, we have one house which my mother lives, and I had another 3 houses. Okay, I sold all of that, and I live in a place which, if I were to buy it, it would cost me around 7 to 8 crores. Okay, but I'm paying 2 lakhs rupees rent per month. Okay, 7 to 8 crores. If I invest it, I make 7 to 8 lakhs rupees a month. Okay, so instead of, so when I'm paying 2 lakhs and I'm earning 7 lakhs, I'm making net 5 lakhs a month every. Second thing is, if my wealth increases, if my ability to pay rent increases, whenever there's a new building coming up, which is a very good building, if I see and I wish to, like I saw a person in my building, she lived in one flat, then there was a better flat, she moved there, now she wants to move to another area in a better building. Okay, all this she is able to do because it's so, for her to exit from one to the other is very easy. But when you have purchased and bought, and then there's a loan, and then you have to go to the bank and you have to sell and pay, you basically are not having any mobility. And today's world is all about being mobile. It's about being fast. It's about moving. Okay, so brands move. Like, therefore, you have a chain of hospitals. Okay, nobody cares where the chain started. Okay, the chain is all over India now. Who knows where Taj took birth, where Oberoi's took birth, or where Marriott took birth? We don't know, but it is meaningful everywhere in the country. So what you thought is, I want to build my business with this money and not buy. That's the right thought. And I think when you go through this case study, now it will get even clearer.
and
So,
the amount
sir,
of inventory right now, the lease is very easy as compared to maybe 5, 7 years ago. With a lot of inventory in real estate, the lease has become easier now.
Yeah.
lease has become easier, and at one point in time, real estate used to give you unreal 25-30% CAGR. Okay, those days are also gone. Okay, it's all
Yeah.
now white. There is no black. It's all under RERA. It has a regulator. Okay, so and lot of real estate growth will happen in affordable houses going forward. Okay, so things are changing. The entire ecosystem has changed, and we have to adapt. Like in a city like Mumbai, Nariman Point used to be the best place to go to. Today, it is like a graveyard. Okay, the people have moved to another part of the city. So real estate has that risk also. You buy a building or a hospital in the best area. 10 years from today, that area must be the worst area. People would have moved somewhere else. The population, the younger population would be living somewhere else, which would become your target audience. So many dynamics are there. And hence, being flexible is the biggest. Again, when I spoke about clarity, okay, in clarity, you should be very clear, I need to be flexible. Okay, if I'm rigid, then that is a problem. I can incur problem in the future.
Yeah,
So flexible mindset is very important.
this founder of Telegram, I saw one of the interviews. So basically, he has got billions of dollars with him, but he never owns anything, no house, no car. Even he doesn't want to be a citizen of one country. Basically, he keeps going. One thing he says is, if I own a house, because many of the time my mind will go on how do I paint this house. He has to spend a lot of effort on maintaining that property. But what he thinks is, instead of that, I can live in a rented house in a different city anytime, but my time, that mind space goes on developing a business rather than putting focus on, see, if you tomorrow, if somebody buys a Rolls Royce car, what kind of a responsibility it is, like how much time he has to spend on that. Even if you have the money also, you should not buy a car that expensive, and focus more on the business. I think what Dr. Amit has thought is very right. Basically, make more and more investment into the business and create a valuation. If at all purchasing a property doesn't really give you any big advantage these days. Yes, sir. I think you can go to the case.
Yeah, I think what I'll do is I will run you through this case study.
Yeah.
Okay, but now see, so far we were discussing his stories, examples. Okay, and some insights. Okay, and some things which you already knew and you again are hearing, or something that you had heard and now you're hearing the opposite, which also is good. It is shaking you. Okay, but now we'll run through the how valuation happens and how you can build a hospital in 1 year time, and why you should not build in 10 years, how you raise capital, how you build a collaboration with non-doctors. Everything in numericals are explained over here. Okay, now only thing is this is heavy stuff. Okay, so I will run you past it today. Okay, and next Sunday when we meet, we will go through it slowly and slowly so that you will understand it. Okay, it might take me 1 hour to explain this, and I have to leave in 5:15, 5:20. I have to leave. So I will require 1 or 1.5 hours to walk you through this, at least 1 hour. Okay, but and it is little heavy for you to understand. Whether you use it or not, but it's important that you understand the concepts. Okay, so we'll have to do it twice. I will run you past it now, and again we'll do it next week. Is that all right, Dr. Senthil?
Yeah, you can just introduce this concept to
Yeah,
the.
no, we can do it next Sunday also.
Yeah, we can plan it, sir. We'll plan.
Okay. So this is like a case where you are building something worth 6 crores. Okay, so uh, how you go about building this kind of a hospital? Okay, so now let's say if I want 6 crores, I can, in this particular case, I have looked at borrowing 2 crores from the bank at 10%. Okay, let's say. Okay. Now, the numbers may not be relevant. They may be not exactly how it happens in hospital, but what we are understanding is the theory, the logic, how this works, how valuation works. So 2 crores, it's always important to take bank loan. It is the cheapest capital. Remember that. But only thing is it has to be serviced on time. Okay, if you don't service on time, they will come and snatch your property away. Okay, so you should always take loan when you can see a cash flow coming, when you can see that I am generating so much of cash. Okay, once you know that this cash flow is sure coming and I can certainly service the loan, then you should take. Therefore, people, why they take equity and debt? They take debt because they have to pay the debt on time. Equity is expensive capital, but equity capital has patience. So people who are giving you equity money, they can wait for 4 years. They can also lose the money. They can also earn less. They are actually taking the risk with you. Okay, but they expect you to earn very high. How much do you think a capital, a person who is going to invest in your hospital, how much return do you think he will be aspiring to have? Anybody can take a guess? Anybody can take a guess? What will be that?
15%.
If you are having non-doctor collaborators who are giving their money for your hospital, what returns they must be expecting?
18 to 20%.
20% return I can also generate if I buy small cap fund, or I can put money in some private equity. Okay, so I can get. So why will they come to you? They can, if you put money in mutual funds, you can earn even 15-16%. For 4%, why will he come to you? So how much do you think?
30%.
Something like 30 plus percent. Okay, clearly. Okay, so now in this case, 4 crores from doctors and 4 co-investors. Now you will also understand why I have done it, why collaboration with non-doctors. When we see the numbers, you'll realize why it is like that. Okay. So total project cost is 6 crores, covering infra, equipment, working capital. Okay, these numbers can all change. Just understand the concept. Now, doctor's position is 38% ownership. Okay, for 80 lakh rupees investment. Now, please understand one thing very important. In this particular example, I have said that there are 5 people. Okay, and they are raising 4 crores because 2 crores is taken from the bank, right? So if there is 4 crores and you divide 4 crores by 5, how much it is?
20%.
0.8.
No, yeah, it is 80 lakh, right?
Right.
Now, in this particular project, the doctor is giving 80 lakhs and the other 4 people are also giving 80 lakhs, right? But doctor is taking 38% ownership and there each one is taking 17% ownership. 17 for the 68. 17 for the how much? 17 is the 51, 17 for the 68. 68. Here the doctor is taking 32% ownership. 32%. 32% ownership. Okay,
They
because
will have like 16%. 16%, the other three people.
yeah, 16 fours are 64. No, in this example I had taken, I'll correct the numbers. The concept over here is the doctor has taken a bigger stake by paying the same amount of money. Okay, why do you think this is happening?
Because he is the main person.
Because
Key man.
He is the magnet.
yeah, he's going to drive the revenues.
He is the magnet. He has already created a proof of pudding. He has already got himself educated.
And he has to work.
Yeah, he's already highly educated from the best institute. He's a postgraduate. He's a specialized guy. He has a reputation. Okay, he's already ensuring that so many people in the city are anyway coming to him. He has proven it over the last 5, 7 years. That is why he is getting a bigger stake for the same amount of money. Now, do you understand why I said doctors should tie up with non-doctors? Okay, if you have 5 doctors coming together, do you think this would be possible?
Just not possible.
That
Just
not,
impossible.
there is a human ego also that comes in. Okay, when 3 doctors are there, they say we want equal. And it's not doctors, even people like me. If I am partnering with 3 people of my stature, I will never want to be even 5% lower than. Whether it is logical, illogical, that's not, but that is how the world is. That's how people are. Okay, so that is one of the reasons why I said it makes more sense to participate with non-doctors.
Thing is, the doctor will be interested in running the business only if he has got a good percentage of the business. So at least investors will be willing to always be.
Yeah. If the investor is going to make 30% or 40% out of this project, he will come, huh?
In fact, doctor can even ask up to 50% equity also. Investor should be.
It's possible. It's possible. It's possible. Okay. So here you will see project is 600, debt is 200, equity is 400, equal contribution 80, doctor's equity is 32. See, I had written 38 over here, it is 32. Okay, 32%. Partners is 17, fours are 68 plus 32 is 100. Okay. Doctor's contribution is 128. Growth rate, no, this something is wrong here. I'll correct this. Doctor's contribution is not 128.
Doctor's contribution is 80 lakhs.
80 is 80 lakhs. Again, yeah, doctor is 80 lakhs over here. I'll correct it later on. A growth rate. Now, we have assumed that for 5 years, that whatever the PAT, profit after tax, will grow at 20% for 5 years. Initially, base is small, growth is more. After 5 years onwards, we call it terminal value. Okay, it will grow at 5% onwards. Okay, that's the assumption. Because once your base increases, your percentage growth comes down. You can make it 4%, 3% also. And there is something, a concept called discount rate. Okay, now what does discount rate means? Now, if I am investing in a project, which is a sure shot guaranteed winner. Okay, let's say there's a project where the world's best practitioner is involved, or a big brand is involved. Okay, where I'm sure shot seeing that I will make money, then my discount rate can be as low as 7%. That means I'm saying that at least this project should give me upwards of 15%. Okay, but if I'm getting into a very big business, then I'm okay getting into that business even if I make upwards of 7%, because I know that that business will grow very fast and it will be very big. And I have confidence today itself. So I'm saying that even if it gives me 7%, I'm okay. Okay. Whereas when I'm doing with you, the good doctor, yeah, I'm not saying I want 25%. I want 15% at least, because I'm not putting money in mutual fund. But I have confidence in this doctor. So I want to give 15%. So discount rate, the discount rate is the amount that you put. This discount rate actually is compared with what investment you are making. That 80 lakh that the doctor is putting, the other guys are putting 17 lakh each. Okay, so not 17 lakh, 80 lakh. All are putting 80 lakh. The 80 lakh that they are putting, they have to get returns. Now that when they see this amount discount rate, they get something called the present value. And that present value should be higher than the money that they are putting. Otherwise, they will make lesser returns. So this is called, this is how valuation is done. Okay, there's a particular name to this model. I'm just not remembering right now. So this is how the valuation is done. Okay, so this is the basic case study. Okay. This is called discounted cash flow. It is called the DCF method, discounted cash flow method. It is the most, if you go to Google and search, this is the most popular method of doing valuation. Okay, so discount rate, as I told you, if you are very bullish about a business, you'll take a lower discount rate. If you are skeptical, you'll take a higher discount rate, because the discount rate will take you to a present value of a particular project, a valuation of the project, and your entry point has to be lower than that. If your entry point is higher than that, that means you'll make lesser than your IRR, what you earn will be lower than the discount rate. So it's like you'll be earning 12%. Why would you participate? Because you wanted minimum 50%. Okay, so this is how it is. So now if you look at this, here we have taken, assumed that the company makes 1 crore in a year. Okay, 100 lakhs, growing at 20%. Okay, when it grows at 20%, it is 120, 144, 173, and 207. This is the PAT, growth of the PAT, which we have said 20%. This is the present value, which is discounted by the 15%. Okay, so that is the reason why I'm saying we have to do 2 sessions in this. Many things might get confusing, we might seem very confusing for you. You need to absorb it once, and the second time when we discuss, you will get more clarity. Okay, I'll show you next time when I show you, I'll show it with an Excel sheet with the formulas written on it. Okay, so here what is happening is 100 present value is 87 because it is discounted by 1 year at 15%. So 100 at the end of 1 year is today 87. 120 at the end of 2 years is today 91. 144 at the end of 3 years is today 95. Okay. And 173 at the end of 4 years is 99. And 207 at the end of 5 years is 103. Okay. So the total of the all present value is 474. So this obviously is more than 474, but total. So this is how you do the valuation. 474 is your present value, but that is not the only criteria for valuation. Okay, so now what has happened is present value for 5 years is 4.74, as you saw over here. 474 lakhs, 4.74 crores. Now the terminal value is 2,177 lakhs or 21 crores. There is a formula for getting terminal value. Because see, this is a perpetuity hospital. It doesn't end at 5th year, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's a long term. Okay, also it is going to grow not at 20%, but at 5%. Okay, so using that 5% growth, discounting factor as 15%, and 207 being your PAT on the 5th year, using these things, you arrive at something called a terminal value, which is 21 crores. And the present value of the terminal value, again discounted by 5 years, is 10 crores. Okay, so 10 crores is your terminal value. And here we had 4.74 crores. So when 4.74 crores gets added to 10 crores, you get 15.57 crores. And this is what is the valuation of this particular cash flow. Okay, if this is the cash flow that I am assuming, and if I'm able to meet this cash flow, this is the kind of, at this assumption of 15% discount rate, the valuation is 15.57 crores. If my discount rate was 7%, this valuation would have been much more than that. Okay, so now also I've got a 15.57 crore valuation. Now comes value unlockers. Okay, now when you are a doctor who has already established name, already you are getting people coming to you, you have repeat customers. Okay, you have people coming to buy spectacles also. If you have done all of that, then what happens is whatever is the valuation, 10% of that valuation you can attribute to brand equity, which is 1.56 crores. The very fact that, like what Dr. Senthil said, you need to have a database of your clients, who are your regular clients, who are how good the clients are. Are they paying clients or non-paying clients? If you have a recurring community, you can again account 10 more percent, 1.56 crore. Okay, then similarly, in our business is, our business is a very stable business. Okay, because your every bed that gets used, you are earning from it. So it is a low risk, predictable returns, no dependency on future earning. So what basically, when you are building a hospital, what you are saying is every new patient I make money on every bed, I make money on every patient, I make money on every surgery, I make money on every activity. Okay, why am I giving the example? Think of businesses like Swiggy. Think of businesses like Zepto, okay, Blinkit. Now, these businesses in the initial years, they burn cash. They lose money on every customer. So more customers, they're losing more money. Why? They want first the customers and then they hike their prices. They want to first build a base for the brand. But our practice, the medical practice, unlike them, here you don't have that risk. Okay. Second thing is those businesses burn a lot of cash, advertisements, this and that. Okay. In your thing, what happens is you only require capital, you're raising capital to make the building, to buy the equipment. Once you buy the building equipment and you get your patients, whatever you earn, you can fund your working capital from that money. You don't need to raise capital again and again. Second round, third round, fourth round is not required. And therefore, you can put a 10%, 1.56 to the valuation because of that. Now, if you're a reputed doctor and a great name, you can put a valuation on that. And capital discipline means this is again, doctors don't understand this. You don't take all the money out into your personal account. You don't take all the money out and buy your own mutual funds. You have to keep money in the system, in the company, in the hospital, and invest it in the name of the hospital. If you do that, you attribute another 10% to the valuation. Because somebody comes to buy you, they need to see how cash rich you are. And they need to see how much you have grown, at what rate you are growing. Okay, so all these things put together, you are adding 1.56. This 10 to 15% to 5% is, you need to, when you have a valuator, a professional valuator, based on the actual case, they will come to some kind of a number over here. But for the sake of understanding this, you can take as a fair estimate. Okay, now if you have built proprietary IP, let's say you have built videos, you have built podcasts, you are educating people. Okay, all of that, you can put some valuation, like I put 75 lakhs over here. So these are value unlockers. That is why you need to have a good brand and all of that. Yeah, so if you have all of that, then in your valuation comes to 8.53 crores. And total value unlocking is 8.53, that gets added on, and you get a 24 crore valuation. Okay, so step by step, we have arrived at 24 crore valuation. And if you look at the IRR, the cash flows, minus 80 lakhs, and doctor's stake is more, other stake is less. If you look at the IRR, I'll explain to you IRR the next time when we meet. Okay, I'll show you with the Excel sheet and all the calculations also. Here, the doctor's IRR is 82%. And the people who are partners are getting 53% IRR, each one of them. Now, this is far more than mutual fund or anything. That is why they're risking their money with you. Okay, so basically, this is what the doctor's stake is. His value is so much. Investment is this much. This is 7.7 crore of the valuation he gets. Okay. Then his multiple is 9.6 times his entry level when he's exiting. His IRR is 82%. Okay, so this is, again, we will discuss this the next time. So critical learnings from the case study is you take leverage, cheap debt strategically. Equity ownership multiplies the value. As I said, equity, people who are giving, your friends who are giving you money, they have a lot of patience, but they want 40-50% CAGR. Otherwise, they'll not come. So ideally, if you don't require too much of money and you are seeing good cash flows, don't even look at too many partners. Look at less partners. Look at more of employees. Okay, and take more of debt if you can. So this is something, again, case by case. Your brand is your intellectual capital, which we discussed in the previous when we were having discussions in between. System, scale, wealth. not sweat. Today, if you're practicing every day 10 hours, 6 days a week for the next 20 years, you are sweating it out. Your systems will create wealth, not your sweat. Sweat will get you fees, but it will not get you wealth. This is where we started. Now, we will discuss IRR next time and multiples next time. We do.
So
Then,
can I ask you one question?
yeah. I have to leave right now, sir.
So just 1 second, like related to last slide only. As you said that don't take money from your hospital into a saving accounts, rather invest through a hospital so that your valuation, they will count that also. But I think it is applicable when you have a company or something. When you are a proprietorship, it doesn't make any sense. No?
What we are discussing is definitely company. All this cash flow, all this, proprietorship has zero valuation. You can't be valued.
Okay.
We came across a valuation. Proprietary has zero valuation, zero exit. Proprietary is as good as being alone. It's just that you have changed your name, alias.
Right, sir. Right.
Okay.
Thank you,
Now,
sir.
IRR comparison with mutual funds and all this is done over here, and comparing doctor versus co-investor. So we told you why the doctor takes more money, better, and why the co-investor takes less. We discussed this. Okay, the story behind this you have understood. So here there's nothing much to explain. Here you are just comparing with mutual funds and fixed deposits. Okay. Okay, so why 50% plus IRR makes economic sense? This is asset-backed backed security. Hospital has building, it has medical equipment, it has real estate, it has some collaterals. So that is one of the comfort things. It is zero burn plus unit economics. Basically, the more, every unit is giving you profit and there is hardly any burning of capital excepting to start it. Okay, debt creates leverage. I said you 10% may you can take as much debt you can service. And realistic valuation, 5x valuation increase over 5 years is achievable with a consistent 20% growth. Okay, so when to choose enterprise over mutual fund? This is not such an important slide. This is the wealth creation path. Again, what is important, friends, is this is the last slide. We'll go through all this next time. But what is important is for you to understand this, 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 and this. Starting from here, these are important slides, which we'll go through in an Excel sheet next time. Okay, we'll go through an Excel sheet next time. This is called DCF method of valuation. And then these are value unlockers for other things. You add all of this. You take the present value by discounting it by the discounting factor. And then you come to a particular valuation. And when you are doing an IRR, there is a formula for IRR where you are saying I'm entering minus 80 lakhs and I'm earning 32 lakhs, 38 lakhs, 46 lakhs, 55 lakhs. And here is a terminal value for me to exit at 7.65 CR. Okay, so when I'm exiting at 7.65 CR and this is the cash flow I'm getting, I'm effectively getting 82% IRR. And the partner is getting 53% because partner has a lower stake. You are paying the same amount of money, but he has a lower stake, you have higher stake, which you deserve. Now, in this particular case, you can build a hospital in 1 year's time. You don't require to wait for 10 years. You are not, and you are putting less money. You are not buying, you are not buying the land and the building. You can take it on rent. You work on a project report with other partners. Okay, you may be having a partner who perhaps understand how to deal with the land people, how to make the building, how to get the land. One of your partners could be expert in that. One of your partners could be a financial wizard. One of your partners could be an operational champion. Okay, so they can be sleeping partners, they can be active partners as well. Okay, so this is what we will see when we meet next time. How many of you all are interested to learn this on an Excel sheet next time when we meet? How many feel that there is merit in learning this? 10 people have already disappeared from the meeting.
Sir, actually, yeah. So actually what I feel is basically just to have an understanding about this. But if somebody wants to scale up or somebody wants to follow this model, I think it is better to get professional advice where we can create this thing.
Sir, even if they understand the Excel sheet, that is not this. You will have to go through a project person.
Correct.
You have to go through a person who can calculate all the minute details of costing elements.
Correct.
What we have done is what I am teaching you is the way you have to think.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, it is the formula that you need to appreciate. It is not that you can take this and build a hospital.
Correct.
Okay, you have to. This is just for you to appreciate that this
Understand
is
how it
this
can
is the
be.
thinking. This is
Yeah.
the thinking. This is how you arrive at a valuation. This is how you arrive at IRR. Okay, but then you will again have to go back to a expert who will do audit who will understand every little cost. He will work out your EBITDA. He will understand you, and you will have to sit with him and say that what are your projections? How many patients you will get here? Then if you are having 3, 4 partners, you have to strategically think how much we will earn from maybe a shop where you sell specs, how much we'll earn from preventive services, how much we'll earn from surgery, so you have to have a plan. Then based on the plan, you have to estimate how many people will come. Okay, then you have to have how many people can I come regularly, become my regular clients for some other practice. All that you have to study and give it to the person. That person, and then you have to understand all your costs in minute details. Then you work out your EBITDA. So this is you will require a very, very qualified. I am not. I understand the concept I'm teaching you. You will have to go through a valuator, and you'll have to go through people who will actually work out the costing for you properly.
We have, say, I think we can definitely, if somebody is interested to get into an actual project, we can definitely help them. That is
Yeah,
also.
I'm sure definitely Senthil can help. And my request is please take advantage of people like Senthil. Not too many of them are there in India. There are so many ophthalmologists over here in this group and in the country. How many are Dr. Senthil who has left his practice to become what he has become? Likewise, I said, it's not that doctor can't do money management. One of my partners is a doctor, but he has given up medicine. 100%. He doesn't go to hospital, doesn't go to clinic, doesn't see patients. He's full-time money manager. He's a partner. So anybody can, but if I say I can do this and this and this and this, you'll end up doing nothing well. That is the problem. Because time is limited. 10 hours a day, 6 days a week is all we have. So thank you so much, friends. I have to leave and go somewhere. Otherwise, this session was planned even till 6 o'clock. Okay, and then we could have spent a lot of time on discussion and going through the working. But next time we'll open up on this particular discounted cash flow. We'll go through how the numbers are. A lot of people will be confused with the numbers like present value. A lot of you will be confused with discounting. What is the meaning of that discounting? A lot of you will be confused on many of these things. It is not a very easy model. Not too many people understand this. Okay, but even if you get 50% understanding, that also will help you in your way forward. Okay, so next time when we go through the same thing on an Excel sheet, you'll appreciate the numbers more. You'll appreciate the process more. And once you go with this knowledge, you can then talk to people. And at least today you would have realized that I don't have to wait for 10 years. At least you would have realized that I can raise money from non-doctors also who are useful. At least you would have realized that you can offer them 50% IRR and you can make 70-80% IRR. At least that much you can understand. It is still a good idea to go ahead and put energy on a small hospital set up today's corporate world.
Yeah, definitely, because the corporates cannot open up eat up the full market. There is
So next time session, we will spend 45 minutes to understand this model, and then we will open up for a discussion. So 50 people asking questions, Senthil and I answering will go on for another 1 hour. Okay, so for 40-45 minutes, I should be able to explain this model to you again, like discount the discounting rate. What is discount rate? What is terminal value? What is terminal value growth rate? What is the growth rate? All these things will do a revision of that, so you'll understand and appreciate, and how present value is arrived at, and what is the meaning of present value. So a lot of these will take 45 minutes to 1 hour. After that, we'll open up for a 1 hour discussion, because this is not a very simple model, but this makes a lot of sense. And this is what you need to adopt. Only if you adopt this, your dreams will be fulfilled in 2 years' time. This 10-year dream, take it in writing from me, is a pipe dream. It will never happen. You will invest money, you will save money, you will lose opportunities. There's a huge opportunity cost for 10 years. You'll buy land and get it locked. You'll buy a building and get it locked. All of that will cause damage to the journey that you have ahead, your financial journey. Take the right. That's why I said always go to an expert. Always outsource. Always trust people. That is exactly what Darwin taught us. And that is why human race today is above all the animals. So thank you so much for your time, your patience. And I look forward to see you again next week.
Yeah. Thank you, Dharmendra sir. I think this was one of the most interesting and most informative sessions of all the things which we have done so far. And some of the things were a little difficult to understand. I'm sure we will dive
That is
deep.
why I said, no, the last part I will do it again.
No
Because
problem.
I had to rush through. I've got to leave right now. So we'll do it
Basically,
again.
another thing is this is a part of our 1-year practice development program. So we have also launched this 2026 program. So if any,
Shall I, if you allow me, can I exit?
yes, sir, please. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, all of you.
And if there are new people who have joined this meeting today, so if you want to be a part of the 2026 program, please do get in touch. It's going to be a 1-year program. And apart from that, also our conference is in January. So looking forward to seeing all of you in January. All the updates are in our website, www.ofthal.in. And please do stay in touch and have a nice day.
Sir, can I ask a question?
Yeah, please.
Sir, the question that I put, that's where I stuck. No, that I could not get that answer.
What was your question? Can you please?
The question was, sir told about so many things about valuation, this, that. It's okay, but what should be done? What should be as a doctor, as Dr. Amit Solanki is there, there are other doctors are there, and I also. We are all at different stages of our practice. Somebody have reached their full potential, somebody is starting, somebody is gearing up, somebody must have grown. So where, when and where we to take the steps?
See, there are two things. One is what should be done, one is what should not be done. So basically, like one thing is we should be.
Sir, may I just give a one-line answer to this? Well, what I learned from today's session regarding to Ashwini sir's question. Sir, Stanfield sir and Dharmendra sir, what they focus today is mainly, when you are talking about the valuations. So being a doctor, being an ophthalmologist, what we should focus is putting your all focus and efforts on creating a brand, so that will create a value. So, and that is how I think Ophthal has helped us, because I joined Ophthal when my hospital was just a year old, and that has helped me to put all system in place, and that protocols, that system, that is going to help me to create a value. And so, as I told you that previously before joining Ophthal, my mindset was different, just like an old generation of doctor only. But now it has changed that no, I have to put my efforts on creating a brand value and provide a quality service. So this is what I learned. Like when we talk about valuation, it is about brand and providing a good quality service and how you stand out from the others.
See, what the focus is basically either you can create value or you can create a legacy or you can create both also together. So basically value is like what, see if your thought process is like the old generation, like Dr. Amit or anybody would have taken a loan, whatever so capital he has accumulated, he would have bought a bigger property, but he is not creating a valuation. He is only creating an asset in that case. So what I think the end result is what should be done. Like even Dr. Ashwini, what should be your focus is, am I creating an organization of value? Value is not only money, but also the processes, the quality, the customer service, everything included. And what I will be in the next 5 years, 10 years time, and what is the end purpose? What am I going to achieve at the end of the day? So either am I creating something of a huge value, like I can sell this entity for 20 crores, 50 crores, 100 crores, whatever value, or I am creating a big legacy, which I can hand it over to the next generation. And there was a question from Dr. Spurti, like, does it make sense to open up a new eye hospital? See, any business consolidate, nobody can consolidate the full market. Like it is not going to be only the corporate chains which are going to exist, because India is such a huge country with 140-50 crore population. So there is going to be opportunity for everybody. So there is going to be still private practitioners. And even see, yesterday also I was talking with one of the corporate person, he said like, he went to a corporate hospital. He found that there is too much of a commercialization. He said like, there was a very junior doctor saying they're always pushing for a higher procedure. And then he went to an individual doctor who gave so much of time for the patient. So there is going to be still a role for the individual practitioner. There is going to be, I don't think the individual practices are going to close, because see, in saloons, for example, if you take up, there are so many branded chains of saloons have come, but still the neighborhood saloon guy is still existing because he provides a customized service. So individual doctors who offer boutique services are always going to be there. They'll still be 80% of the market is going to be run by the individual doctors. 20% might be consolidated by the corporates. So we are in a good opportunity situation. We can run and create a large individual organization and maybe even exit out to the corporate in the future. So what is needed is a mindset like a corporate. What kind of service can I provide? Do we have the systems and processes? That is what we are trying to inculcate. And experts like Dharmendra are very hard to get because they are really good brains who have had so much of expertise. So we want to expose them to the ophthalmic community, and we are doing as much as possible to create that mindset change. And if you continue, I have one request from my side is to continue supporting our activities, because that is when we can actually scale this concept and take it to a lot more doctors. Please do be a part of our upcoming programs, our conferences, and all the activities. That gives us more motivation. And in 2026, we will launch this common brand clinics. So I hope we can also succeed in that. And let's meet next.
Sir, can I ask last question?
Yeah.
Sir, we are right now in a proprietary firm. Like sir said, keep property is zero value, and now restructuring as an entity. So shall we go directly to a private limited, or LLP also will be a good option? So this was a kind of question.
Basically, LLP or a private limited doesn't have too much of a differences. Only thing is, if you're looking at a value creation, like what Dharmendra sir said, it is better to have a private limited company, because private limited company is limited by shares, and then it is considered to be more legally compliant. Only thing you will do is you are going to spend a little bit more money for the company secretary, and the compliances are 10% more than an LLP. So always, if you are creating an enterprise and if you're already having a decent turnover, say 3-4 or a decent turnover happening, better to go for a private limited company. Have 2 or 3 minimum required is 2 directors. I would advise to go with 3 directors. So even if there is a problem with 1 director, you can always have the 3rd director to support. You have somebody as an independent director and 2 directors. Go for a private limited, because that is when you have all the compliances. See, having a private limited company and then showing profits on that for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years gives you a better valuation. Because when a corporate wants to see, we are not pushing anybody to get acquired by a corporate, but end result is what we are trying is to create a value. So that value comes when you have a structured entity, which is more in a private limited. Another thing is, tomorrow, see, having a private limited company, it is easily transferable to your children, or you want to have a new partner. Let's say tomorrow you want to take me as a partner. It is easier to give your shares to another person. Your children also you can automatically transfer. So always once you reach a reasonable turnover, say 10-20 lakhs a month, I think always better to convert it into a private limited company with 3 directors. That is our suggestion always.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
So we have the fear, like we have that private limited, is it more difficult to maintain? Is it more, will we get income tax notices? It's the same for proprietorship or LLP or private limited. Only thing, you spend 20,000-30,000 rupees extra for compliances, like a company secretary will file the reports. So, and we are in the business of ICAR. This is your long-term organization. You're not going to close it. So basically, having a private limited is always better. It is transferable to the next generation also. Whatever way. So once you have a decent turnover of say 10 lakhs per month, better to convert it into a private limited company. So that is our advice. Only problem in a private limited company is you need to become an employee to take your profits. Either you declare profits or you take salary every month from a private limited. You become a salaried employee. There are only two ways to take the money from the company. That will become a limitation.
Okay.
Proprietorship, it's easy. It is your personal and everything is together. It's easier. From a private limited, let's say you accumulate a salary, say 3 lakhs every month, and remaining you can take as dividends at the end of the year. Still, it's same.
Yes. Is LLP little more tax efficient?
Nothing like that. I think having either proprietorship is simple to maintain. There is no corporate affairs. All those things are not there. LLP is also having a corporate. You need to have a director identification number, everything for an LLP also. Doesn't make too much of a difference. If you're thinking of an LLP, go for a private limited. It is better. That is not an issue.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you so much.
So that is the thing. So we are maybe I wanted to have some feedback about this common branded entity which I spoke to you about. So basically what we thought was in this last year practice development program only we had almost 40 plus hospitals participating. So like see your hospital will have still the company is going to be separate, but you can also have the branding of Aftal along with it. And apart from that, we are thinking of all implementing those systems and processes, having a common website. Let's say 50 entities are there. So somebody from Mumbai will be listed. So we can have a better website. We can have some common activities going, like a purchase manager, some support for insurances. So what is your feedback on that? And will you be interested to be a part of that?
Yes, sir, I am in. I think it's a good idea.
Yeah. So we want to do a pilot of that, maybe take 20, 30 hospitals in 2026 and then slowly, because see, that will give, we also learn a lot, but let us start it and then do things as we progress. That is my idea. So I'll keep you updated. Let us start this in 2026 and see how it goes. And any other question we can take or we can close the session. This month is going to be focused on quality. So next week we'll also have sessions on quality part. And let us work on Dharmendra's presentation. So next week. Thank you all and have a nice evening.
Thank you.